So now this is when these videos get a little more strange and a little more smoked out. And I knew it was going to happen eventually, just start surface level with like my life and, my mom, my dad, my brother, whatever, whatnot. But now this episode is going to be very, very like, like literally viewer discretion is advised type shit because what I'm gonna be saying is gonna sound so smoked out to most people. It's pretty much gonna be what I'm gonna talk about is like my encounter with demons, pretty much like straight up, like no bullshit, none of that. And I want you guys to understand that I'm not this everything I'm gonna say in this video is 100% true. Like on everything I love, on my mom's grave, on the one and only Most High himself. Like everything I'm saying is 100% true. Now, and most people aren't going to believe me because that's like how smoked out it's going to sound. And I'm still not going to go all the way and tell you guys every single thing that I've experienced strange spiritually or physically. Well, both, But this video isn't really going to have one moral of the story. It's more so, I mean, all, at the end of the day, it all falls under the umbrella of, okay, you go through hardships to learn and whatever, blah, blah, blah. But this is more of going to be like a testimony towards like my existence, my belief in the existence of God or a one and only God. And that's because if I experience evil, if I've encountered demons, then there must be an equal and opposite force. That's Newton's third law, I believe. So do not do what I'm doing right now if you can avoid it. Do not speak about them when you encounter these things, these paranormal, whether you want to call them ghosts, you want to call them demons, you want to call them spirits. I just cracked all three of my fingers, but whatever you want to call them, they're negative. They're not good. They're not. And even if they do put themselves out to be good, you can't trust it. And I'll get to that in a second why, but I'm going to explain to you why you shouldn't speak of these things out loud. And you should not speak of them out loud because when you do, you entertain them and they like that. They like the attention, they like the acknowledgement. So you have to be very careful with what you do. Right now, I'm intentionally not recording this video in my room because, for example, whatever could be lingering in my room and hearing me, listening to me, watching over me as I'm acknowledging them, because most of the paranormal evil negative energy I've experienced, which is not only mental but physical. I've been physically touched. It was in my room a lot of the time. Now, thank God, thank Lord Yahweh, thank God so much that I have not experienced anything anymore. Thank God. So I'm praying that me speaking about it now doesn't bring them back. But I don't want to talk about it in my room because they might be there. They might be attached to me. I don't know. All I know is I trust in the Most High, and whatever is meant to be is meant to be. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen because it's all a part of His plan. But anyways, the reason I'm talking about it is for you guys. That's the sole purpose. Like I said, the purpose of these videos is not for me, but it's for you guys to learn from. And also, this video is going to be very entertaining to most people because number one, they're not going to believe it. And number two, even if they do believe it, they might not learn anything, but just be like very intrigued. So I think I want to start with my very first, and I'm going to use the word paranormal for lack of better words, but I'm going to start with my very first, I want to say paranormal. And this was when I was a little kid and I was living in, this is actually after my mom passed and everything. I don't remember a lot of my life before my mom passed away. It's very, very vague. I don't really remember anything. I saw a picture of my mom. I was with my mom and it was my birthday and we had a birthday cake and it was Optimus Prime and Bumblebee on the birthday cake. And I'm like, wow, I don't remember that at all. I don't. I I was walking into the kitchen and in the kitchen, it's like you walk around into the kitchen. There's a door right here. You walk around into it. And let's say at the door, there's a window right here. And I need to hit this corner to go into the kitchen. As I walk into the kitchen and it's nighttime outside, pitch black, I see this bright white ball of light on the backyard, like in the backyard, like near the back door. But it doesn't really trigger me. It doesn't really catch my attention at first for whatever reason. I don't know if I was tired or what, but I hit the corner like this. I notice it, but I already walked to the kitchen. So I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck? I walk back, I look, and it's gone. I'm like, whoa, that was so weird. And that house, though, has been, a lot of us that lived in that house believed it to be haunted. My grandma has said, like, if you think I'm bad in this video, my grandma said the most smoked out shit I've ever heard in my life. And she doesn't even do drugs like that. I don't know if like our Mexican mothers and grandmothers are just in touch with that shit so much, but I remember one time, this was another occurrence, and in this video I'm mainly just gonna be sharing stories, but one time we were in the dining room, which is actually the room that I walked into the kitchen. So like there's the kitchen, there's the dining room. So I walked from the dining room into the kitchen. So we're in the dining room one night and we were I was having my grandma fill out some paperwork for school. I don't remember what at all. But let's say the dining room set up like this. Then there's a living room, hallway, our room. And so so let's say this is the table. I'm sitting right here. The wall's right behind me. I can't see anything. My grandma's sitting right here. She can see through the living room all the way down to the hallway. And we're doing the paperwork and I'm telling her something and I'm telling her something and my grandma's just like, she's just staring down the hallway. And I'm like, grandma. And she's just like, she snaps out of it and we just get back to the paperwork. And now I'm going to be completely honest. My grandma, she's told me some like the most smoked out things I've ever heard in my life. And there's also a lot of paranormal, unexplained, strange things that she has told me, which I'll also be telling in this video. It's just that I only want to mention the ones right now that I was involved with. Now, this specific story, I didn't see with my own eyes, of course, but so now later the day, I don't know why she didn't tell me right then and there, but she just brushed it off like normal. The day after, she tells me she saw like a cupid at the end of the fucking hallway, like a little kid, probably like me, like a little kid, like, and she said he was there like dancing or some shit. She said he was doing something and I was just like, what? Obviously my grandma, she speaks Spanish, so she's telling me all this in Spanish. She's telling me like it was a little boy and that was just there at the end of the hallway, like he hit the corner and he was just there. And like, I don't know if them two made eye contact or what, but I don't know like why she just played it off so normally. There's that. But then I believe the most evil encounters that I ever had was actually when I became a Christian. And I believe that's because when you begin to seek the truth, or you begin to do good, or you begin to do the right thing, then that's when you begin to be attacked by the devil. Because the greatest, and I always forget who said this quote, the greatest lie the devil ever convinced the world of is that he doesn't exist. And so it's like, if I'm on a path of destruction, or I'm harming myself, consuming, drugs or whatever, then the devil doesn't really have to really fight that hard to get me. He's not going to attack me that hard. I'm already on that path of destruction. But if I then get off that path and try to lead a path of good, a righteous path of truth and integrity and wisdom, just being a solid dude, then that's when, the devil starts appearing to you. But obviously I personally don't believe the actual devil himself has ever appeared to me. I don't think I'm that important to him. Unless maybe I am, who knows? But I mean, I doubt it. So that's when people say that they saw the devil or whatever. I mean, maybe you saw a demon or a fallen angel, but I doubt the devil really cares about you. Like, not to be a dick or nothing, but yeah. So moving forward, when I became a Christian, this was actually probably the most demonic forces I've ever encountered in my life. And I'm not going to go 100% all in. I'm not going to tell you guys everything in this video because it gets really, really bad. Number one, and this is going to be a very personal video if you guys haven't told already. I mean, I'm going to go into some pretty personal shit, and so just be mindful of that, you know. You know, those of you who might not believe these stories or ghost encounters or whatever, that's cool. Just be mindful that I am going to tell you guys a bit of my life as well. So, when I was this is around the time my sister got shot, and this was like the hardest. And I've told you guys this story. I've told you guys this story before, but I never went too deep into it because something that I had been encountering, and this was actually ongoing. So my ex cheated on me around that summertime, and then during the new year, that's when my sister got shot. But ever since my ex had cheated on me, something would push me in my sleep. Like, literally push me. Not only that, I would have reoccurring nightmares and also a lot of sleep paralysis. But that's like very surface level. That's very common amongst a lot of people. Is it demonic? Yes, I absolutely believe sleep paralysis is very demonic. Don't get me wrong. But I know a lot of people that suffer from that. But what I know that a lot of people don't suffer from is getting pushed while they're trying to sleep. So, and I'll give you an example. Let's say, first of all, I do want to clarify though. Have you guys ever had a dream where you're about to fall asleep and then you start dreaming about yourself, and then you like fall in your dream, and then you like twitch, but you twitch in real life and you wake up? Okay, this wasn't that at all. This was not that at all. So let's say I'm about to fall asleep. I'm sleeping, falling asleep, and I'm not dreaming nothing, just pure blackness. I'm falling asleep, and then something will like go like this to me, like push me inwards. Oh, never. Well, something will like push me in, like something will push me like that, like push me, and I didn't necessarily feel. I don't remember ever feeling a hand or fingers. It was more just like a force, but I knew it was something. Now, mind you, if I'm gonna be honest, I didn't feel like an evil presence. I wasn't afraid of it at all because I knew that the Lord in me was stronger than than anything, any of that. So I wasn't afraid of it, but I knew that it was evil. Cause it couldn't be good. Shit, it wasn't good, that's for sure. But it would push. This happened multiple occurrences. Like I said, time frame was months. One day, as a matter of fact, I had just watched a movie. I remember I just started my Blu-ray collection. I was watching a movie, fire movie. I believe it was, I can't remember. But I was letting the credits roll by. I lay down on the floor and I just lay down like this. Credits are over. I begin to like fade. Oh, it was Dunkirk. Yes, it was Dunkirk was the movie. Credits roll over. Now it's just the title screen of like the Blu-ray. I'm fading away. Something pulls me this time. Instead of pushing me, something pulls me this time. So let's say my arm's like this. This pulled me and I kind of like fell, like my weight like caved in. So it pulls me, and I'm like, and once I wake up, like it stops. Like it was always very brief. But this time it pulled me. And like, you know, when you're getting pulled. I know this wasn't me moving in my sleep. Like, you know when you're getting pulled. And the timing was always weird too. Like, it would be right when I would fall asleep. Like the second I would fall asleep. Not only that, but also the sleep paralysis as well. With the sleep paralysis, it actually got to the point where like I'm now able to break out of that. I think I get it sometimes, very rarely now, but it got to the point where I developed a twitch in my neck where it's kind of like this kind of motion right here. I know I look like a crackhead doing that, but I kind of do one of these in my sleep because that's the only muscle I wake up and I'm paralyzed, that's the only part I can move. So I'll be twitching my head so much that it'll shake me awake. So it got to the point where like I'm able to break out of that now. Thank God. Not only that, but I would have extremely demonic dreams as well. I remember one of them, and I wrote them all down too, as a matter of fact, but I don't have them on me. I remember one of them. I one of them. I was with this like I was with this woman, like this pretty woman, in my dream, and but she was. I don't know how I knew this in my dream, but I knew she was evil. And so she led me into this room. I don't know what we were gonna do in this room. I don't know. And she opened the door for me and she's like, "Come on, like come in, whatever, blah blah blah." And I don't know how I knew, but I hit the little like, "No, go ahead, ladies first." As she goes into the room, I slam the door behind her and the room turns red. Like if you look at the bottom of the door where light comes out, the room turns red and she starts screaming bloody fucking murder. Like she's getting murdered, bro. She starts banging on the door started banging. Honestly, I think she was a demon, but I don't know, like it doesn't make sense because she was being tortured at the same time. But she starts banging on the door so hard, like the door started moving like a cartoon, like when they bang on a door in a cartoon and the door's like bulging out. And I felt like I fell back, like that's how powerful that shit was. Like I fell back and I was like, what the fuck? Like she starts screaming bloody murder, like she's being tortured by something in there, something that was in there that she wanted me to go in there for. But I guess why she let herself go in there, I guess she was willing to sacrifice herself and me at the same time if she was going to get me. But I just outplayed her. I don't know. That was a wild one though. I've had other dreams where they were just extremely pornographic. And I've had wet dreams too. People think like wet dreams are normal. Man, hell no, man. That shit is so demonic, bro. That shit is so demonic. Some people say that it feels good. I'm like, what? Bro, this is gonna get a little graphic, but like around this time, I kept having reoccurring wet dreams and nightmares. But the wet dreams were like evil and they didn't feel good. Like they literally felt like lava was coming out of my dick. Like it would hurt. So when I've heard other people say that they felt good, like wet dreams felt good, because I never had wet dreams before in my life. So I'm like, what? What the fuck do you mean they felt good, bro? Because I thought everybody like had the same one that I did. But yeah, so, and that all has to do with, and I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. This is gonna, I don't, it's not even something I like to talk about because it's kind of embarrassing. But I know a lot of people struggle with it, so I'm going to be 100% honest. And this will have its own video, but I'll scratch the surface in this video. Is I used to have like a porn addiction. And, because we live in a time where it's so easily accessible, they don't barely block that shit. There's no restrictions on it or nothing. But I used to have a porn addiction, but when I became a Christian, I got rid of it. And then when I got rid of it, that's when I started to have wet dreams, like reoccurring, that would like try to make me. I've had dream. I don't even want to like. I fuck, dude. I've had dreams where I know for sure demons communicated to me, like they communicated with me. And I don't know if like that's a one-way street because I doubt I'm able to communicate with them back, but I know for sure they sent me a message. And I don't honestly, if you guys want to know what happened in this one particular dream, maybe I'll say it. But because if I do make a video where like I, tell you guys about my journey with like getting rid of porn addiction, it's not going to be on some like, oh, you should not do it because it's better for your health and it's good for your testosterone levels. It's going to also be like on a spiritual level. But in this one particular dream, like I had a dream where like pretty much this devil, whatever it was, man, gave me an idea, and it was to like do something. And it was fucking terrible, bro. And it might not be as bad as I'm making it sound right now. It's just like thinking about it, it's like, fuck, dude, that shit really happened. Because it was something I've never thought about in my life before, but that gave me the idea. There was that. I remember one time my grandma, when we were, and this is in the new apartment, not from that old house where there was a boy, but is that the new apartment? Yeah, that's only 12 o'clock. Oh no, it's 1. Oh yeah, my clock is fucking off. So this is at the new apartment, and I'm chilling in my room. My door is open. My grandma's door is like cracked open. She's laying down, and my grandma is like, she's like, in Spanish, she's like, ah, I see you, I see you. And I was like, what? Because like sometimes I would mess with her and like peek through her room. They're like, yeah, sis, like, what are you doing? And she was kind of like doing it. So when she was doing that, she's like, oh, I see you, like kind of like saying like, oh, she already saw me, you know? And I was like, what the fuck? I'm in my room. I'm not even there. So I ran to the room. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, what? She's like, oh, I saw you. I'm like, no, you didn't. I wasn't even there. Like, what are you talking about? Then there was another time where I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. One time my grandma said that, like, she felt like a little pain on her back, and my grandma's old, so she feels pain everywhere. I'm like, okay, what? But she felt like there's something on her back, and keep in mind this could be easily explainable, but I looked at her back and there was a scratch on there. That shit was wild, bro. And I know other times there's actually I'm a strong believer that people, these forces will try to communicate with you through force, through lights, through other things. There's multiple ways of communication for them. And I'll give you one, and I know that it's always them trying to contact me, but there's certain light switches in my city. There's certain light poles in my city. Like when the sun goes down, the street lights turn on. There's certain ones in my city that always flicker or turn off when I walk under it or drive under it. Only when for example, I won't even say the name of the street, but there's this one light pole. Every time I walk on, I've walked down this street before and I've drove down it. I've drove down it, it turns off. Look at my rear view, it turns back on once I pass it. When I've walked down the street, it's a very long street, I see the light in the distance on the entire time. As soon as I walk under, it turns off. It either turns off or starts flickering. I'm like, huh, what do you do? And then there's another light where it's like, I believe I've only driven under this one, but when I drive under it, it'll flicker. But then the 10 cars in front of me that just drove under it, it doesn't happen to them. Then when I look at my rear view, look at other cars drive under it, nothing happens. So it's like, okay, I know that's not normal, bro. That's not normal. It's not. And honestly, I've honestly said like a lot of things that I don't even know if I'll leave them all in this video. I don't even know if I really, honestly, I don't even know if I really want to release this video anymore. But now I think I'm going to bring this video to an end because it's been pretty long. And I'm going to end it with this. So it's like, okay, how do you know that you're not still being tormented by these people or these spirits? And if you watching this video right now, if you're going through the same thing, you might want to ask me, how did you put that to an end? Why? That's very simple. The way I put it to an end was I didn't acknowledge it. I didn't acknowledge it. Every time I would get pushed or pulled, I would just not even acknowledge it. I would just act like it was normal. Because when you do acknowledge it, they like that. They like the acknowledgement. It's entertaining to them. So just don't acknowledge it. Stay prayed up. And honestly, don't even pray for it if you really have, unless you really, really have to, where it's getting really bad. But I would say don't even pray for it, because when you pray, you're saying it out loud. People are, hey, the Most High is not the only person listening to your prayers. There's other things out there that are listening to your prayers. And these things are inside your mind. They're inside your mind. That was probably the scariest one, was that dream that I had. Because it was like, how did he communicate through my mind? So obviously they know what I think. They know how I feel. They know my emotions and everything. So be very careful. These beings are ancient. They existed before time existed itself. They're very, very beyond our comprehension. Their intelligence is beyond our comprehension. So be very careful. Never underestimate them. Never toy with them or make fun of them. Stay woke out there. And just remember, don't fear them at the end of the day. And that's why I strongly believe that they left me alone, because I'm not afraid of them. Just remember that the God that's inside you is stronger than all of them. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm probably go get something to drink right now because I'm doing all this damn talking, and man, it makes me thirsty. I really like making these videos. I really like to be by myself and essentially talk to myself, but also talk to you guys. Even though I'm really like a loner, I really don't like to be around people. And if I ever do hang out with a friend, it's only one person at a time. I only hang out with one person at a time. And even then, it's like sometimes I just want to go home because I really just like to be by myself. But like I said, stay prayed up, you know? Be careful out there, stay woke. Don't, another thing too is like if you ever encounter a spirit, like let's say if I encountered a spirit that pretended to be my mom in some sort of way, shape, or form, never believe that. Never believe that. I would never believe that because, first of all, I know that they take the form of humans. They're going to use that as a way to reach you, trying to pretend like they're your mom. But also, dog, my mom would never want to, like, bro, she's in a better place now. Why would she still want to be here? She wouldn't still want to be here. Be realistic, you know? Just like John Coffey said in The Green Mile, they're the lucky ones. No matter how you look at it, they're the lucky ones. But yeah, God bless you guys. I love you guys. And thank you for everything. Thank you for all the support and love. It's amazing. And hopefully I could take this YouTube stuff to the maximum level and make a living out of it. That way, if I'm making a living out of it, I could just focus all my attention on making more videos, you know? But you guys take it easy. I love you guys, and God bless you. Good luck to you.